Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for March 15th, 2022 from Acts chapter 12, Reality. Sometimes when things happen, we're not too sure if this is real or not. We're talking about extreme things. They could be really good things or really bad things. In the back of my mind, I will admit, with the conflict going on in Ukraine, I'm asking myself, could this really be happening? Unfortunately, it is true. The early Christians must have been thinking about the same concepts because they were under persecution, there was a time of rest, but now persecution comes up again from a different source. From Acts chapter 12, verse 1, about that time Herod, the king, laid violent hands on some who belonged to the church. He killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. And when he saw that it pleased the Jews, he proceeded to arrest Peter also. This was during the days of the unleavened bread. Wow, it's now getting really interesting when the leader of the government imprisons people, and the religious leaders are pleased and encourage more of this. But now let's hear what happened after they arrested Peter. Verse 4, and when Herod had seized Peter, he put him in prison, delivering him over to 4 squads of soldiers to guard him, intending after the Passover to bring him out to the people. So Peter was kept in prison, but earnest prayer for him was made to God by the church. So the early church was praying for Peter because Peter was in prison. And as Christians, we should also be praying for one another. And our prayers should be going out especially for the Christians in Ukraine and the rest of the people in the area also. Verse 6, now when Herod was about to bring him out, on that very night, Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains, and sentries before the door were guarding the prison. And behold, an angel of the Lord stood next to him, and a light shone in the cell. He struck Peter on the side and woke him, saying, "Get up quickly!" And the chains fell off his hands. We need to remember, angels are God's messenger. So the chains and the guards were not an issue because the angels were there because God wanted those angels there. So this is the will of God happening. Verse 8, and the angel said to him, dress yourself and put on your sandals. And he did so. And he said to him, wrap your cloak around you and follow me. And he went out and followed him. He did not know that what was being done by the angel was real, but thought he was seeing a vision. So I guess even Peter was kind of struggling with this reality. Is it really happening or not? But Peter could get the picture. Verse 10, when they had passed the first and the second guard, they came to the iron gate leading to the city. It opened for them of its own accord, and they went out and went along one street, and immediately the angel left him. When Peter came to himself, he said, now I am sure that the Lord has sent his angel and rescued me from the hand of Herod and from all that the Jewish people were expecting. Now Peter begins to understand that this is reality. Even though he passed through one guard and the next, the gate opening probably wouldn't surprise us, but during the time of Peter, they didn't have automatic gates. So we need to remember, with God, all things are possible. So yes, Peter could just walk right on out of prison. Yes, God can do many things. And that's the reason why, as a Christian community, we should always be praying for one another, because what is impossible with us as human beings is definitely possible for God. What we would think to be completely unrealistic all of a sudden becomes reality because of God. God's peace and many blessings be with you, and thank you for listening. And please take an opportunity to share this message with others. If you have enjoyed these daily devotions, please consider making a donation to Peace Lutheran Church, 24024 West Main Street, Plainfield, Illinois, 60544. Thank you again for listening.